Hello, my loves. Welcome to Love and Money Manifesting. Hi, lovelies. Okay, 1 second. Oh, we have a waiting room. Kelsey, are you on? Can you admit our fabulous soul fam? Lopa 33333. I love you. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Welcome, loves. Welcome to Love and Money Manifesting Part 4. Give me just a moment. We're opening this one up to everyone. So we're going to go live on Zoom. So 1 second here. And we're going to do this. Okay. Here we go. I'm so excited to do this today. Okay, come on. There we go. Let's get our fam up here. I mean, we're starting 11 minutes late. That's like totally working for manifesting, right? Amazing. How is everyone doing? Tatiana, Sonia, you look so cute and shiny in this furry thing. I love it. I was like, it got cold here in Utah, my love. Like literally, I'll show you guys before we go on the live, but there is snow on the roof. There is snow on our roof. It is cold. Okay, so you're in my readings corner with me. This is where we are talking about the vibes. I didn't have a chance to set up in the other room, but I am so excited to do this. Okay. Do we need a lens? Can you guys see me okay? Yeah? Okay. Good. All right, my loves. Welcome, Lopa, Tatiana, Rebecca, Lynn, Giovanna, Brittany, Christina, Andrea, Amanda, Tara, and Amanda. We have like so many amazing names that just come around a couple of times. Okay, well, maybe that just wants to be white right there. So we'll just leave it. We'll let it be white. Okay. Let's go live on our Insta. Here we go, live. And dun, 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 dun. Adding the title. So many of you that are like using this course to create your own, courses and things. This is the stuff that you're going to be doing, right? Or that you already are doing. Okay, so we all know what we're doing. I want the light to work for both. Okay, this works. There we go. And we're going live. Okay. Hi, loves. Welcome. We are in Love and Money Manifesting the workshop. This is part 4. Very exciting. Let me pin a comment. Kels, if you can join on Zoom, I see you on here. It would be awesome to have you because we have a waiting room, so we may have to like approve people. That would be amazing. And we have so much to talk about. I'm so excited. So this is this is the 4th part of a workshop series that we have done together, and it is amazing. So we have gone through to wrap things up, to like bring it back to where we are. Okay, so we have talked about how everything that has to do with love is related to mom, is related to clearing things that have to do with mother, ties, judgments, things. Then things that have to do with money and also earth, okay? And then everything that has to do with money is relative to dad, and it's relative to higher self. It's relative to any issues that generally like have to do with God or like divine self or like your higher connection. So this is like a general thing that was in part 1. Okay, in part 2 and part 3, we talked about many other things about like how we map things and the formula to manifest, because we now know that there is no way to manifest unless you're really clear about whether it is love or money, of what it is that you deserve. And after you reorganize your beliefs, right? Because this is all a function of our belief systems. Once we reorganize that, then we feel like we are worthy and we believe that we can have it. Therefore, our free will is not being overridden when the universe gives it to us. The universe will never give us something that we don't believe that we can have, because that would be infringing free will, right? So this is important, because anytime, what does that mean? Anytime we're not getting what we want, okay, what we think that we want, we have to just go inwards and check in and see if it's something that we really actually want. Because if we did want it and we believe that we could have it, then it would already be in our reality, right? So that's how we kind of sift through everything that needs to come our way. So number one, let's do our work. So this was the recap, okay? So now we know all these things, and if you don't, go and refresh, okay? And you also know that you can reorganize your beliefs, so you can go and change it. And we'll talk some more about that today. Today, we're going to really shift on how this works in New Earth, okay? So new belief systems. So to do this, let's get grounded, let's get connected. And if you don't have a candle lit, let's light a candle. Actually, I'll light a candle with you. I light a new candle so that we can do it for specifically this workshop. Take a moment, take a breath. Hold the breath in and then exhale, let everything go. One more time. Inhale. Hold the breath, make it count. When you exhale, let all your thoughts, all the things, like, let them go so that you can be present. Exhale. Inhale again. And on this inhale, let's become present with what we want, with what we intend to call in, what we intend to receive clarity on, any guidance, knowledge, information, answers, ideas, possibilities, opportunities, clickings that have to just come through for us to get to the next level. Okay, so set your intentions as we become present with the things that we want in our reality, in our, well, I shouldn't say reality, council. In our society, it's generally considered weird to want things, right? That's what kids do. It's like a kid's thing. And so somehow we get told that we, can desire things, we can possibly maybe, would like to something, but want is a big energy. So actually get honest and see what you want. What do you actually want? Without guilt. Take away the guilt from the want. What do you want? Right? So call that in, just connect with that. Like, wouldn't it be nice if that, okay? So yeah, I want to know about this. I want to know about that. Like, and then as guilt comes up, exhale it out, okay? And our intention is for the answers. This is how I always do my intentions. Set the intentions for the answers to come easily, to just integrate so easily, for me to understand, to be heart opening, mind opening, expanding, energizing, knowingness, like all of these things that you want to put into your intentions, okay? Put them in. Then we're going to inhale in our heart, hold the breath, and then you're going to exhale down. You're going to find your grounding. Exhale down, light awareness energy down to your feet. Find your feet, wiggle your toes. Obviously, if you're tuning in and you're driving, don't close your eyes, but you can do this anyways. Inhale with your eyes open. Into your heart, hold the breath. Feel the power gathering up, energizing up in your heart, and then exhale, go down to your feet. Connect with Mother Earth. Connect with the heartbeat of the Mother Earth. Connect with the grid, with the 12D grid. You can do all this together because this is now a 12th dimensional energy that we're connecting to. Feel the grid expand. Go hang out with Mother Earth and then come back up, feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling connected to the entire network of new earth that is all around us, 12D available. Okay. Expand, expand, expand from your heart. Inhale and exhale to expand all the time. So inhale in, exhale out and expand. Make room, create space for yourself to learn, to integrate these things, for them to like come in and activate. And then inhale in your heart and exhale, go all the way up. Go up through your chakras, through your crown chakra, all the way through to your higher self energy, up, keep going, all the way until you hit, boom, your higher self. This is your resonant higher self energy, where the next layer, higher self of you resides. This is where the plug feels like it's coming from, of the energy that's coming in. Inhale all of that in. Inhale the love. Inhale your divine self. Inhale the light. Inhale your light body. Inhale the knowledge, the possibilities, all of it, the solutions. Bring it down to your chakra pillar. This is where the money comes from. Inhale that shit in, you guys, like inhale it in. If your breath is failing you, work on your breath. If you're not breathing like your life depends on it, start breathing like your life depends on it. Inhale it like that. Bring it down, mean it, do it with power. Don't be shy. You don't want to be shy about these things. Bring it in, make friends with your breath. Okay, same thing with the earth. So get in your heart, activate your heart, bring all of that divine energy into your heart. When you go down to Mother Earth, let's go back down. Exhale, go all the way down. When you exhale, you expand, right? So go all the way down, connect with the earth, feel Mother Earth, feel this love, this support. You want to feel supported. You want to feel you want to feel like you got this. You want to feel like your people are showing up for you in life. You want to feel like you have a support system. You want to feel like you can't do wrongdoings. You want to feel like no matter what, the universe is going to show up for you. Inhale that, like your life depends on it, from Mother Earth right now. Inhale. Bring it all the way into your heart. Feel it, know it. You are supported. Bring together heaven and earth in your heart, and then exhale. And when you exhale, expand. If you do this every day and you feel the knowledge of the heavens and the support of the earth, you're manifesting amazingness. Okay. So this is one of the most important things that anybody could ever teach you, that I could ever teach you. In fact, those of you that start, that do, that have had any kind of readings with me, you know, this is how we start every reading. And I can tell you, I can tell anyone everything about how their life is going by the way that they connect with heaven and earth. It's very powerful. Okay. So remember that. Money, love, support. Okay. Solutions, ideas, all of it. Okay. So let's talk about how things work in New Earth. Now we know all of this. So let's start actually with, we have a list to go through. So let's start with money as a function of being, not money as a function of doing. Do you guys know that? Send me emojis. Let me know. Are you clear on this part? Money comes to you because of how you be, not because of what you do. If you don't know this yet, okay, this is a big one. So write it down, mark it, make an asterisk, okay, type it, whatever you need to do. Money comes to you because of how you are, because of how you feel, because of how you be, not because of the things that you do. Let that sink in. Money does not come to you because you get paid by the hour. That's a society 3D belief structure. Money comes to you as a function of how you be. If you be in a higher vibration and you believe that you're worthy of this much, then if you are in a framework where it's being paid by the hour, then that hour goes up, right? Or whatever that energy exchange is. Money is an energy exchange. What does that mean? It means that whatever level of energy you are exchanging, okay, in the thing that you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you're giving, there's an energy exchange. Money is energy. Okay. So the value that you associate with the thing that you're doing that goes out comes back in a function of money. Okay. So when we do jobs, for example, that just figuratively speaking, right, are $20 an hour, let's say, then we have a $20 an hour exchange. Okay. Does it have to be that? No. An hour of your time and the output of your energy, can it be worth more? Yes, it is. Is your soul worth more? Yes, it is. Is your time worth more? Yes, it is. Is your knowledge, your service, your heart worth more? Yes, it is. Okay. So start there if you need to like dig yourself out of that kind of consciousness and start to actually feel yourself rising in worth. If that's, kind of that, it's not you. I mean, you're worthy, period. You're worthy no matter what. You're worthy of whatever the hell you want. And that's the truth. Okay. You want it, you're worthy of it. Don't say no to your soul and it will come. And that's just kind of how it goes. The thing is that just we're not used to it. We're not used to it because we're raised to feel guilty. We're raised to feel like, oh, we should do all of this hard work and we should, should, all this stuff. So you guys know this. Okay. So now follow me here. You're with me. Money is a function of being and of worthy and of belief systems, not a function of what you do. Correct? So if you make it available to the universe to give you money through whatever job you have, doesn't even matter. Okay. Even if it is the hourly thing, even if it is, a salary thing, if you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is, you have your job over here. Okay. Then you feel called to doing the new earth stuff. Everybody's superpowers are coming on. Everybody's new earth consciousness is awakening. Okay. So all of a sudden, everyone's like, well, shit, how do these two go together? How does it reconcile? It doesn't. It does not make sense. Okay. But your job is over here. Your real job is over here. This is where your soul is, which is where your heart is. This is where your passion is. You're over here. When you do what you're called to do over here, where your soul is, okay, but you have an avenue where the money can come in. This is important. Money needs a funnel. Energy needs an entrance point. Where is it going to enter? Is it going to enter through your job? Is it going to enter through your business? Is it going to enter through a donation button that you have on your website? You can also manifest it out of thin air. It doesn't really matter. You can get like, an uncle that passed away that sends you a check. You can get, a lotto winning. You can get whatever. Like everything is possible. It's just a matter of what you're the most comfortable with. You have to give money a way to come in. Okay. Same thing with love, because we're talking about love and money. They're literally the same. With love, if you want love to come into your life, number one, love is not a matter of doing, it's a matter of being. If you don't have love for yourself, it doesn't matter how much you do for the other person, you won't be able to receive love because you don't have it inside. Okay. So it's the same thing. And I keep paralleling on these two because maybe one of them will hit you more than the other, right? And you'll be like, oh, that's how it works. It's the same. Literally, a lot of things work this way. So with love, if you don't have it, you can't give it and you can't receive it. So you have to have love for yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself first in order to receive it. Same thing with money. You have to feel like you're worthy of the money and then the money can come. Do you see how that works? So that's it. It's all a function of how you feel inside. Then what happens is it manifests in the outside world. So then you meet someone that actually loves you the way that you love yourself. You meet someone or you manifest a job that actually pays you in a new course or a new, business that actually exchanges money, like that pays you in the way that you feel like you want to be paid, right? So whatever it is, but you have to be able to have an avenue and a way for that money to come to you. So make sure that you have that like wide open. We want to make it easy for money to come to us. We want to make it easy for love to come to us. Like if you sit at home and you don't ever interact with people, you don't go grocery shopping and you don't go outside of your house, Like, I'm saying grocery shopping because that's like one of the basic things that everybody does. Like if you order everything online and you don't ever leave your house, like, I mean, it can manifest through the mailman, but I'm just saying, who's going to come to your door? Like you're going to need to put yourself, you're going to want to make it easy for people to actually come to you or for money to come to you, right? Is this making sense? Like think of it in the same way. If this is easy for you in love, think about it when it comes to money, because it's the same thing. All right. Here's my reminders with a big thing of money that says, I choose to receive it all right now. If you don't have reminders of that on your phone or on your computer, put them on, okay? Like start getting yourself in that vibration, in that frequency. Okay, so this is now starting to make sense, right? Okay, so let's kick it up a notch. So these are like the things that we know. These are things that we understand. Now, if we know that it doesn't make sense, and we're going to just specifically get into money, okay? Money is very tangible. Love is a little bit more intangible, but then you see it because you either manifest a person or you don't, right? So I'm going to focus on money because this is like a big request that I had for this part. So we have a lot of judgments about, look, we have bugs everywhere. Come on, go over here, little guy. Go live here. There. So the way that it works when it comes to money, okay, is we have so many judgments and we have things that are attached. We make things mean something. We make money mean something. We make debt mean something. We make the amount of money that we pay on, utilities mean something. Our car payment means something. Stop making it mean things. Stop. I think Gabby Bernstein was saying this in a different way when she came out with the book, which I'd never read, but it was called Judgment Detox. Okay. It really is about letting go of the judgments. To me, it's like the labels, the judgments, the energy that is associated with the things that we do. Whenever a feeling comes up associated with a number or a dollar amount or a thing that you want to do, right? That's what you want to let go of. Stop making it mean anything, right? So if you want something, you want something, and that's it. And that's good enough, right? It doesn't matter how much it is. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter when it is. Just claim it and call it in. When we learn to do that, the thing can actually come. But what we're used to doing is coming up with energy, judgments, excuses, like whatever it is, right? And we just think that that's just not going to be like, it's just not going to work. So, for example, you go to the store and you want to buy something. Let's just say you go to Costco and you're there to buy groceries, and then you see some like furniture and you're like, oh my gosh, this solves a lot of my things. Like I've been wanting to manifest this. Then you look at the price and you're like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't get it. Well, do you want it or not? Like, do you want it for your life or not? Every time we do that in our mind, and this is like an example, but every time you do that, what happens is you're telling yourself that you cannot do something, and you just judged the value of the things that you want. Like, do you actually want it, or are you just saying it because you're being, marketed to or whatever? But if you really want it and you say no to your heart, it ends up having this effect where it feels like, oh, I can never have the things that I want. And then you judge yourself. And then there's all of these layers, okay, that come on that. And then you just kind of crumble. And then you feel like you're not worthy, and that you probably should buy it, but you don't buy it, right? Like this is kind of how it works in our mind. But the truth is, you're always worthy of the things that you want, right? You always, always are. And the moment that you decide that you are worthy of the things that you want, because you're meant to have a comfortable life, because living a comfortable life and living in a place where you are able to not think about, like, if you're constantly living in lack, so follow me here, if you're constantly living in a state of lack, like, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I had that, You're not comfortable. If you're not comfortable, your body is not comfortable and your soul is not fucking comfortable inside of your body. Okay. So you have to get comfortable. So you need to like calibrate. This is what's really important. Calibrate. A lot of us also think, have this thing like, it's true that you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, do I want this? Do I need this? Whatever. But find the place of alignment. Find the place of alignment. What is aligned for you? If it's in alignment for you and you want it, then go get it. Like it's, and it's not why? Because your soul needs to learn to inhabit the body and be comfortable in there. So make it to where the thing comes to you. Manifest it. Believe that you're worthy of it. Believe that you actually are like that thing is already yours. There was never a reason for you to not get it. The price point was never the reason for you to not get it. It's always a function of whether you truly desire it or not. Okay. How many times do we use that as an excuse too? I feel like that's part of like what has become ingrained in our culture is like, oh, do you want to go here? Do you want to go on a trip? Do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go to dinner? Oh no, I'm saving for this. Or, oh no, I'm saving for that. We have all these things that we say in our vocabulary. That's just bullshit. Say no to say no. Like do the things that you mean. This is necessary in New Earth. Okay. So what's happening in New Earth? So let's shift over here. The New Earth wealth consciousness is happening and it's a shift from a having to do state to a having to be state. You actually have to be your entire light inside of this physical body. When you embody that, you are called to doing different jobs, okay? You're called to doing your light jobs. You're called to being a portal keeper, a grid keeper, a light worker, a healer, a frequency holder. You're called to doing all these things that in a lot of ways don't make sense in a three-dimensional world, right? Because we don't live in a three-dimensional world. We live in a 5 to 12D kind of world, okay? So for the most part, we inhabit a sphere, we interact with a sphere that is physical, where the laws are in the process of changing and shifting according to how everyone's consciousness is rising. We have to do our part and we have to hold this. So what does this mean? If we actually know that there's something we have to do, if the land calls us, if we have to share something, okay, if we feel like we know a thing and the world has to know it, if we feel like we hold some power in our hands and it has to go in a mountain, if we feel like we have to go do an activation on a city, on a place, on, whatever, if we have to hold a group, like whatever it is that we need to do, because that the New Earth callings get a little wild, right? Like you're just like, really? What are we doing right now? We're integrating what frequency? Like, how is this happening? But then you're like, well, shit, I have to work. Right? Like I have to do this like other job, or I have this like family gathering, or I have this. Your soul does not care about this. Okay. Your soul is going to come through stronger and stronger until you pay attention to the New Earth stuff. And so the things that are like the 3D appointments are not important. It is not convenient. But when you start listening to the calling of your soul, okay, if your intention is, it doesn't, again, remember, this doesn't make sense. If your intention is, let's just say for sake of numbers, I want to make $10,000 every month. Okay. This is where I'm at. This is it. Universe, show me the way. Let's do this thing. God, angels, universe, whatever, however you work with it. Okay. You have to do your part. You're calling on the universe to do a thing with you. You're co-creating with the universe. So work with the universe, because you're in New Earth consciousness. You're going to want to work with the universe over here. And then the universe is going to be like, oh yeah, hey, guess what? You're also a match for $10,000 over here. So I'm going to give it to you over here. But you have to do this work over here, because if you just do the work that looks like physical work, but you don't do this ethereal kind of work, it doesn't manifest. Okay. It can manifest when you are unaware of the light. So this came up on like a thread just the other day, where it's like, why is it easy for people that are like in evilness and in darkness to manifest? Well, they have a shitload of karma to deal with. They're forcing their manifestations, and they're doing it out of energy that is twisted. You can manifest out of stress. You can manifest out of fear. You can manifest out of love. You can manifest out of higher vibes. You can manifest out of any kind of energy. Okay. The energy is the field that you manifest through, the feeling that you manifest through. Okay. So, for example, a way of explaining it is, if you create, let's just say you're an entrepreneur, you create an event, a course, a workshop, right? And you create it with an energy that is stressed out because you feel like you have to do it. And this has to happen because otherwise, you don't have food to put on your family's table or whatever. If you feel like you're doing it in that energy and you're stressed out, the way that you're going to manifest your people is in that energy. It'll be stressed out energy because you created it in this consciousness. So it's coming through in this consciousness. When you learn how to create out of, love, it'll come through in love. When you learn how to create out of like higher consciousness, like it'll come through in higher consciousness. Does that make sense? So when people are doing like really dumb, and sometimes not just dumb, but like straight up like evil, I want to say, stuff in the world, you can still manifest out of things like that. That's why there is like a shit show happening in our world. Energy, like the universe and the energy of the universe, the law of attraction does not discriminate. It's just about what you want and the energy that you're manifesting through. Okay. But it is our job to climb the layers of consciousness to get ourselves to the point where we can do this out of love instead of out of fear, where we can manifest out of ease and grace and love and like all of the joyous things instead of out of have to, out of fear, out of, gotta do this. And then even like darker, kind of energies. One way or another, there's a feeling associated with it. So recalibrate to the feeling that you want to do this through. This is how you call your people. Okay. A lot of people ask me about like how, and you guys see this too, like on my social media, like how people find me. And that's because I emit a frequency, right? I emit my own signal. I'm very clear on how I create. I create out of love. I create out of the fact that a lot of times it happens like this. It's like, holy fucking shit, I actually have to teach this for the people, right? Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to teach this. And I hold so much like love and so much like energy for the fact that the world is ready for this, right? So when I put that out, the people that match that, that's who I manifest, that finds me, right? Those are the people that find me that are like looking for something because they're like, hey, their frequency that they're putting out into the world is like, I am looking for something and I'm not getting the answer. And then my energy is like, hey, I'm putting this out into the world. So you see how it matches, right? Like there's a match there, but it's this greater joy. It's learning how to like, greater, not greater, higher frequency, right? Like it kind of goes like that. So when you're doing a course, because for example, you want to put out, oh, I know how to do this and I want to do this to get people's money. And you're in here in this consciousness, right? For me, it's never about money. I put money on it because that's the exchange. And so if I'm going to stretch and hold, this is literally how it works for me. If I'm going to stretch myself and hold all this energy for all this healing, for this quantum leaping of this many people, like this is really what I want to do. And I would do it without a price tag attached to it because I would do it because my soul wants to do it, right? Because I believe in it so much. When I get to that point, only when I get to the point that I would do it because the earth needs it, I feel called to do it because the planet needs it, the people need it, my soul family is calling me to it, then and only then I put a price tag on it. Because it's not about the price tag. The price tag is about the exchange of energy at this point, when I get clear on the thing that I want to do, because this is how the exchange of energy happens, right? Which is the reason why a lot of times when people purchase like my courses, they feel the energy exchange right away, like on the first payment, because they're like, and I am into this energy exchange, right? And you just kind of feel it. So, but I am very clear that it is not about the money. If you make it about the money, then the money has a harder time coming because that's the only energy that you're exchanging. It's about you getting the money. When I work on the new earth stuff, it's not about the money, but the money comes because you're holding the higher frequency that within itself holds the money. Are you guys with me? Yes? Okay. Yes, makes so much sense. Okay, good. So here's the thing. My mentor always taught it this way, and I never got it, but I'm going to tell it to you guys just in case it helps you, okay? Because he would say, just to give it to you in however many ways that I can say it. So he would say, you have to know what you want to do, and then you have to put it in a context, and in a context of the world. And then you're going to want to put it in the highest context. Like, what is your highest context? A context where everybody wins. And 10 years ago, I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what this means, right? And so he calls it your personal context and then a context where everybody wins, which makes sense because in New Earth, you want everybody to win, okay? For me, that's what he was saying. What that looks like is if you are not in your highest alignment, once you know that your soul is ready to birth through your body, and you are getting into the highest alignment kind of vibes, you won't be able to manifest out of lower frequencies because your soul won't let you, because you have to be in alignment. You have to be doing the things of the light. Otherwise, over here, the money won't come. Okay. So once you actually get with your alignment and you have your, highest purpose, when you're fulfilling your purpose, when the things that you create and the work that you do is attached to your highest purpose and the purpose and the mission that you're here into the world, then the money comes. That's made sense to me. And it didn't, literally, you guys, it took me 10 years to put this together. And this year, it was literally, no, I shouldn't say this year. It started unfolding for me a couple of years ago in a big way because I wanted to do something that was greater than me. And then it came and it really hit me because you start seeing the difference when you start playing in the field, right, of the energy, and when you're teaching things and when you're doing things and or whatever, like in however money comes to you, if you're on track with your embodiment of your soul, with your vibrational alignment, if you're on track over here and you're embodying what you need to embody, then you give money away to come in, the money comes. If you're not on track over here, and if you're not doing it for the highest purpose and your highest alignment, and if you're not living at the limit of what your soul is capable of doing, money doesn't come over here because your soul is calling your attention, right? So that's kind of how that works out. So it doesn't make sense because the harder you work, it doesn't mean that the more money you make. It's a function of alignment. It's a function of belief. Are we good on this? Okay, let me see here. So we talked about, so ask me if you have any questions. Okay, so we've covered that it doesn't make sense. We've covered letting go of the judgments. Okay, we've covered the fact that money is a function of being and not doing. So it's not the harder you work, it's the more in alignment you are. And then you still have to, it's not that you don't have to work. I mean, realistically, I always say this, if you could believe, if you really truly believed at 100% with every cell in your body that money was just going to manifest in front of you, then it would have to, because that's how it works. The thing is, a lot of us aren't quite there yet, right? So it just doesn't show up. But we do believe, because of our level of consciousness and where we're going, we believe that it can come through things. So I just say, make it easy for money to come to you. A lot of like light workers, when they start, I always say, like, just do, like, if you don't know what to charge for your things, right? It's very easy to figure out where you're at in terms of worth. If you offer a service and then you just do a donation button on your website, it ends up averaging out. It ends up like, oh, okay, people feel called to this because money just flows through. And so whatever it is, like the number that you hold for yourself, that you believe that you're worthy of, will come to you no matter what. Okay. So it's just a matter of the energy that you feel like you can hold. Okay, questions. What about specific versus non-specific manifestation? Can you clarify on that what you mean? Like specific. Give me an example. Because to me, manifestation is specific. Are you talking about like Abraham Hicks, like going general? So Abraham Hicks has this concept of going general. The reason why Abraham Hicks goes general in manifestation is because a lot of us can't actually grasp a thing coming to fruition. So, but we can grasp a greater thing of like, things are always working out for me, right? Like we can start to tap into this energy of, I know that I can shift my energy. I know that good things are always available for me. Like she kind of goes over like these bigger things because then we believe that. We can believe it if it's general, but if it's really specific, we have a harder time believing it, right? So, okay, so yes, for love, do I have to do all the qualities I want in a person and to be specific? Okay, so there, when it comes to love, you do want to know and you want to embody those. So think of it this way. You want to get it as specific as your soul desires, right? So if there are things that, and it doesn't even matter, like it doesn't matter that you don't think that they make sense because the universe will deliver. Okay. So and I'll tell you this, for example, when I wrote down, because I wrote down a full moon, anybody manifesting love, do it with this blue moon, by the way. The full moons are amazing for manifesting love. Anytime there's a full moon, it's a good time for like bringing everything up to the surface, which includes your feelings and the things that you want. Okay. So writing like manifesting lists for love or for that stuff, absolutely, it's a good time because you can let go of things that you don't want, but everything that you want also comes to the surface. So I wrote down things that didn't make sense together, like the fact that he was like very computer savvy, but also could build anything with his hands. And I was like, am I going like too far? Like, does this even make sense? Like, does this even exist? And I was like, I was just writing the things I was feeling in my heart. And I was like, look, I'm just going to send you my wish list. Like, let's just do this thing. Right. And I wrote and wrote and wrote. And the more I tapped into the energy of what I wanted, and this is what happens if you stop thinking about it, but if you start feeling it, right? So you kind of just like start writing and you tap into the energy and tap into how it feels. The important thing is that you tap into how it feels. When you get clear about how it feels, then the match comes to you. Okay. So, okay. So hang on. I'm getting into some questions here on this Skype. 1 second. So man, I hope that makes sense. So get specific, but when you're writing a thing and you're getting specific, make it so that it feels good to you. Don't make it like, I don't know how this is going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that this even exists. Because if you're writing it in that energy, it can't manifest. So at some point you have to shift it to, it may start that way, but then you have to shift it to where it's like, okay, this is going to work out. I don't know how, but this is going to work out. This is totally going to manifest because I'm putting it, in my alignment, like I'm putting it in my manifesting, energy. So it has to happen. And the more you feel it and the more you become a part of it, like it manifests. Okay. So, okay. So I've been doing your prosperity Kundalini meditation, Brittany's saying this week, and oh my goodness, I feel so in alignment. Okay. Kundalini works for manifesting. Okay. It is a way, like it magnetizes your aura and your energy, which is what we manifest through, what calibrates our reality. Okay. So Kundalini magnetizes it. When you feel good and you say affirmations, it magnetizes your aura. So all of this work, right? So, and 2 potential clients reached out to me today, and I totally believe it's because I'm in alignment. Yes, that's exactly how it works. And people will come out of nowhere and they will ask you to do work for them. Why? Because you're magnetized for more abundance. So start believing that you're worthy of. Does everybody, like, as we're working on money, get a number in your head that you want to manifest monthly, not a one-time deal. We're not into one-time deals. I'm not. I mean, you can, one-time deals are great, but wouldn't you rather have it be something that keeps on coming? This is like the wealth consciousness of New Earth. Like the fact that if you're worthy of it one time, you're worthy of it again, and you're worthy of it consistently. And this is a monthly thing, right? So set a number, whatever it is that you want to continue working on as a monthly, like this is where I'm at. This is what feels good. $10,000 a month. Maybe it's $2,500 a month. Maybe it's $10,000 a month. Maybe it's $50,000 a month, whatever that is. Okay. Who knows? One day we'll be having this conversation. It'll be $1 million a month, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? So I'm just saying it's all a function of where you, can hold the frequency and the energy. And then watch the things happen, like clients that reach out and people that, ask you to do things, because that's what happens, because you're being the frequency of the money. Okay. So Tatiana's saying money always comes from other people. How do you attract the right people and step in that vibration? Do you have a special visualization or how to make this match? So generally, I mean, money comes from people because people are the conduit for it, right? Because we're on Earth. So for example, like, there are organizations, but to me, there's always people. But it's not the people, it's the way through, right? So if you can serve the people, then the money will come through the people, but it's not attached to the people. So let me actually rephrase that and clarify that, because it's never about like, it's not a function of numbers. There's a lot of like marketing stuff that drives me bananas. And I get into this in Goddess on Mission, where it's like, oh, it's a numbers game. It's not a fucking numbers game. It's a worthy game. It's a belief game, right? Like, it's not that, oh, I interviewed this many people and then this many people are interested. Like, that's working harder. That's not working in alignment. In alignment, you actually just call the people that can benefit from the thing that you offer. Then it's an exchange, right? Because you're not taking people's money to take people's money. Let's put it like that, because this is a judgment that a lot of people have, right? You're actually serving the people whose soul craves the things that you are offering, right? Whether that be healing services, house clearings, readings, tarot, courses, whatever it is that you're doing, services of consult, like whatever it is that you're doing, there's like a million ways. If what you're doing is serving people, then the energy exchange is coming through that way, right? So to me, I don't ever look at people in terms of like, people to me are not associated with money in terms of like, I'm trying to answer this question as clearly as possible. So the way that I do it is I see people that can benefit from whatever it is that I am offering, right? So I see how people's lives could transform. Like if let's just talk about like right now, since I am in manifesting retreat mode, and a lot of you guys know this, right? So to me, it's the feeling, the way that I feel about what I'm offering and how people's lives will be transformed by being in the retreat. And I see that and I feel it and I visualize people. They don't generally have like a face. So it's not like I actually like see people specifically, but I just see like the energy of people sitting in the retreat room, sitting around their computers. And I see how their lives like were, going from, sitting around at the dinner table before and not being happy. And then they come and they learn all these things. And then they go to the dinner table and now they're full of light and they're full of joy. Like I see the transformation that happens in their life. And I see how it could help them. This is how, like, when you talk about people, right? And so if it is in alignment for them to receive this level of transformation and healing over here, then the money comes over here. That's kind of how that works. Okay. So, but when it comes to like an exchange, the reason why I said like money comes through people is because someone generally has to like push a button or push, you know, like there's a functionality where it's like people have to like input a payment or input a card, or even if you're winning the lottery, right? There's people behind it. And so someone in the process is going to be the conduit for it coming to you, because we're all just transducers. This is all energy transducing. So, and so many times I feel being called, like, this is how it ends up working. Like when you're in new earth consciousness, right? I feel like I'm looking at, you know, my money manifesting, I'm looking at things at the end of the month, and I literally say, okay, I have this money. This is something that I like to do. And I put in orders from like new earth businesses, right? Because I'm like, okay. And I feel called, or sometimes I'll see, you know, a business, like someone on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or I hear of someone starting something, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I want to support them, right? And so money will come through me. And so many times people were like, oh my gosh, I want it, you know, I was calling to manifest this, or I was asking, you know, I was wanting to manifest more money. One of the people, and you guys, a lot of you know Carrie, who is our admin for Moon Babes, right? One of the times this happened, it was earlier in the year. I just felt like I needed to give Carrie more money. It was wild. And so I was like, hey, Carrie, how do you feel about doing more things? And I'll just like double what I pay you like every month. And she was like, oh my God, I was looking at manifesting more money. But it was really weird. I just felt it, right? I just felt like it needed to come out of me. So I understand that that's a way for money to come through. So we're all instruments, like we are instruments in the hands of our soul and, you know, our higher self. And so when you begin to really see it like that, it's just, it comes in and it goes out, and you feel called to support others, and you feel called to call it in. And we're just all, it's an energy exchange. It's very fluid. It's very flowy. It's not like money is a scarce resource. Money is like freaking everywhere. Money is not scarce. There's so much fucking money in the world. We're just calling it to the people that are actually doing the good things on the new earth. So, okay. Okay. Thank you. In regards to Abraham Hicks, do you think that this is good teachings to read, learn, to follow? Yes, I really like Abraham Hicks. And a lot of things I honestly really only ever listen to myself or Abraham Hicks on repeat. I know that that sounds really strange, but the thing is that I carry, I, especially when I show up to teach, I do the work that is required of me, right? So I do the work to get myself in high energy and manifesting vibes in a way that I can hold the energy. And so I vibrate in a way that sometimes when I'm like not in that place, I go listen to myself again, because that's the knowledge that came through me. Right. And so that's where I like to be. That's the vibe that I like to be in. So I create my meditations. This is literally how it started. I created my meditations. That's why they're like gold, because there weren't meditations like that out there. So I was like, I gotta do this thing. So that's how that went. I listen to my own astral travels all the time. Why? Because there really isn't anybody else that's doing it better like that I have found, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. So it sounds a little weird, but it's just, when you listen to something, even if it's in the background, it brings you to match that energy consciousness. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, and that's the truth. Okay, so we have questions on here. Let me see. Current mantra, I am always surrounded by money and wealth. Amazing. Yes. Okay. Okay, Danielle is saying that's my thing too, narrowing it down because I'm knowledgeable about a lot of things in New Earth. So I jump from one idea to the other. There are so many options. Truthfully, it doesn't matter. Those of you that are like, so this is a good point, Danielle, thanks for bringing it up. So those of you that have a million colors in your light spectrum, because that's what it is, you're working with like the full spectrum of light. So you have so many gifts and you could do so many things. It honestly, honest to God, it does not matter what you do. Decide how much money, forget about what you're doing. Decide how much money you want to make. That's it. Focus on holding that. Okay. So let's talk about like numbers. Okay. Because I really want to help you guys manifest. So tell me, like, if anybody wants to talk about it, like specific, because I want to help you in like the most practical ways that we can. So how does that feel like? Okay. And I really want to end with like a real example, like what comes up when it comes to like money manifesting, like when we're looking at numbers, like what comes up, how does this work? How can I help you hold that? Because there are so many different beliefs that come up when we say, oh, I want to make this much every month. And that's the stuff that we have to clear. But it's easier to clear if you can tap into what it feels like to be there, right? So if you can tap in that vibration and in that consciousness, it becomes a lot easier to then be like, oh, this doesn't really matter, right? Like over here, like when you're, example with love, when you're fully in love with a new relationship with a new guy, it really doesn't matter. This is a bad example because it's a very 3D example, but it really doesn't matter what was happening with your ex. You don't really care about your ex because you're fully in love with somebody else. Does that make sense? Like it's just kind of like when you're fully being, there is nothing else. It just is. And you're embodying that feeling. And this is what you're doing. So it doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. Okay. So let me see. I think there were questions here too. Okay. You guys are with me. Yes. Okay. You're feeling it. Jupiter is a planet of abundance. Time is perfect for manifestation. Yeah. So all the things, let's talk about that and planetary alignments and manifestations. So you can, let's talk about like planetary influences. Actually, let's just talk about the astrology because this will make it clear. So the energy of the planets affects our frequency. It can either help us or make it more difficult. However, you can do the thing that you want to do no matter what. When you start paying attention to the astrology, you just learn how to do it in a way that's easier and faster and smarter and more in alignment. But don't stop at the fact that, hey, if Jupiter is retrograde, I can't manifest. If Mercury is retrograde, I probably shouldn't launch a business. Don't stop at that because we're so much more powerful than that. Just learn, for example, like knowing that Mercury is retrograde, right? You know that sometimes things, with communication may be affected. So we learn to work with that. We know that it's an inner journey. If Mars is retrograde, we know that our actions are like going inwards instead of outwards, right? We're probably not going to launch a huge campaign outwards. We're going to campaign with ourselves on the inside. Like you learn to work with the energy of what the planets are doing to get to where you want, right? Because if you feel like your soul is like making you, that's what it feels like sometimes, that your soul is calling you so strongly to do this thing, right? And you look at the planets and you're like, oh, damn it, like Saturn is retrograde. I can't do this. It may kick me in the ass. Like that doesn't serve anybody. Your soul is going to do the thing. So you have to learn how to work with the energy of the planet in retrograde or the conjunction or whatever it is that it's doing. You have to like learn because there's a lot of knowledge. Knowledge is power. Understanding what's happening is a very important thing. Once you understand, you work with it, you alchemize it, and then you do the thing that you want. Don't use the planets as an excuse. Okay. Bad juju. Like it's not because, oh yeah, so now it's not, it's not bad juju. It's just, you're just like cock blocking yourself. This is the best way that I can, that I can say it because you guys understand it. But you're just like shutting down your manifestation because you believe that due to a planetary thing, you can't manifest. No. Just know that because, if Jupiter is doing this or if Jupiter is doing that, there's more abundance to be like, there's energy to be used. I like to look at the planets in terms of what is energetically available for us to use, not what is going against us, because we can always focus on what's going against us and then we can focus on what's working for us, right? So what do you want to choose? So it's like, okay, here's what's going on. There's, all these things happening. This is good energy. Let's tap into this energy. right? It's kind of like if you go to a party and there's a bunch of people and you're like, oh, these people have like, you know, for the majority, like this is like yucky energy. I don't even vibe with them. But then there's some that are like super awesome people. But for whatever reason, you end up spending the night with the yucky people. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, go with the people that you jive with instead of bitching about the people that are, you know, low vibing. You guys are understanding what I'm saying. So basically, it's still always up to you, right? Like manifesting is still always up to us. We get to work with the things that we got. If you can tap into the energy of the planets, tap into it. If it is supportive of you, tap into Kundalini, tap into your like guides and angels, tap into your tarot cards, use all the things. That's why they're called divination tools. Divinations are tools translate the energy to give it an answer, like to give it form in a way that is visible and tangible so that we understand how to work with it. Okay. But it is always available. I know. Thanks for laughing at me, you guys. I'm so glad that you guys understand this. But now you will know, and now you will see, like, everybody's laughing on everything. Now you'll be like, wait, am I cock blocking myself for manifesting? Let's not do this. Let's actually manifest. So, okay. Let's get back to questions. Okay. Thought this was at 8 p.m. Oh, we are going to, the replay will be available. So you'll be able to catch the whole thing. Okay. For me, it's being a stay-at-home mom, trying to help my partner for me to bring the money in. Good point, Kelly. Thank you for saying this. We can manifest through our spouses. The fact that you're staying at home does not mean that you, like a stay-at-home mom, which is like the best and most important job on this planet, those people that are able to do it, right? Because our children clearly are the future of the earth, and they need to like be taught the things that we know how to teach them a lot. So if you can't be a stay-at-home mom, power to you. Learn how to hold the frequency of money for it to manifest through your spouse. You can also manifest it in many different ways through, like, you know, you can get creative with things that you can do. You can do fundraisers. You can, like, you know, do donation things with like your kids' old clothes, with toys. Like, you can do all sorts of things. Like, you can make money come to you if you choose that you want to do that. Okay. So never look at your current set of circumstances in life as a limitation. Don't look at it as a limitation at all. Decide what you want and then figure out how you're going to get there. Because if you keep on looking at, well, I'm like this, or I do this, or I have an hourly job, or I'm a stay-at-home mom, it won't come in. But if you say, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be amazing for our whole family to go on vacation, for example, right? This is just an example. Like, oh my gosh, I want to manifest a vacation. In order to manifest a vacation, I need an extra $5,000. I don't know, let's just say, right? So you start to tap into that energy of like what it would feel like for an extra $5,000 or $2,000 or whatever it is. Just make it a number that you feel comfortable with. Okay. What does that feel like for it to come through your spouse, for it to come through a family member, for it to just show up for you through your little part-time thing? Maybe somebody wants to buy all of your crafting supplies that like you've never used or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there are many ways. Do not doubt the ability of the universe to give you what you want when you're a match for it. You just have to become a match for it, which means you have to feel like you're worthy of it, right? Just like we're a match for our soulmate, or for our, like, for the love, we're a match for the money, okay? It's all in frequency. And so when you believe that your family or you are worthy of receiving an extra $5,000 to go on vacation, it has to show up. And it will show up through your spouse. For a long time, I did that with Henry because I was like, I had to like grow myself, but I really wanted like a super awesome house where we could like have retreats. And I was doing my belief work, but I wasn't there. And it was a lot easier for him. Like, I was holding $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. That was in my consciousness. But for him, like, it was like, you know, 50, 70, $80,000 a month. That was like, not like, that was cool for him. Like, he didn't have, a lot of men don't have the judgments that women have, which is really interesting. And this is like a whole other conversation, but for him, it was easier. Right. But to him, like, it didn't matter, but he was like, his money was just fluctuating. It was, sometimes it was here, sometimes it was here. And so I was like, what if I can believe that he can do that? right? I can believe that he can do that because he believes that, that he can do it. And so what if I power that up? And so you literally can manifest through, and this is how this house came to be, right? So we can manifest through each other in many different ways. You can also set goals together, right? Like one of the wildest things that we decided, we didn't know how we were going to do, but at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the year, we were like, so let's, between me and Henry, who's my partner, let's bring in $1 million, right? Well, what does that mean? Who's going to make more? Who's going to make less? So he looks, and he's very logical. He looked at it and he was like, well, I can probably do this much if you can do this much. And I was like, holy shit, that's like a lot. And I was like, you know what? I'm up for it. Like, if like we want to like shift and we actually want to get there, let's do it. Let's do the belief work. Let's do the thing work. Right. And to me, it was always like, I mean, I never said this to him, but like out loud, but it was always like, okay, if I hold that we're going to do this together, like whatever needs to come through comes through. And if a lot more comes through for him, like through him, I'm perfectly fine with it, but I will hold it. I will do my part in believing that both of us together can get there. Right. And so, and then and this was me at the beginning, and now it's, as I've climbed layers of myself of feeling like I am worthy and the money can come through me and the money does good things. This is very important for everyone that is like, for women particularly, you really have to connect with the good that your money does in the world. It's very important. And there's a level of like, holy fucking shit, I can help the planet, when you actually can do things like what I was saying, like, offering people jobs or purchasing something from your friend who just started a business and it means the world to them that you believe in their business, or, whatever it is, or helping people, helping organization, or being able to expand. Money is a way of expansion that we haven't really tapped into. So the more you expand energetically, you can also expand in holding the frequency of money. Okay, so those of you that are staying at home, right, get creative. Like, get creative in ways that, like, just visualize it. You're sitting there at the dinner table, you got your kids are like going wild, asking you a million questions, this is how I picture it. So this is how I would do it. You would make dinner, and then your husband is there or your partner is there. And like, while you're having the dinner conversations on the inside, this is what would be going on for me. It would be like, oh my God, won't he be surprised when he gets that extra $500 in his checks? Like, oh my gosh, like he's totally going to get like this bonus from work. And I'm so excited for him to do, and like visualize the moment. Oh my God, it's going to happen so soon that he's going to come home and he's going to be like, babe, or she's going to come home and she's going to be like, babe, oh my God, like, guess what happened? I just got this, and this vacation, or this furniture, or this like new whatever that we were talking about. We can totally do that now. Feel that. That's the feeling, right? That's the feeling of being like, oh, it actually happened. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, the husband got the bonus, the wife got the bonus, like whatever it is, like feel into that. And the more you can bring that energy in, then the more you visualize it happening, it has to happen, right? So trust the miracles. Believe, expect, not even believe, expect the miracles to happen, because this is new earth. This is what it's made of. Okay. So, I think a lot of people are scared of Mercury retrograde and don't know how to work with it. Yeah. Mercury retrograde is like your uncle having like an inwards journey. Okay. So the Mercury is not scary. Mercury is just the messenger of the gods. Like, start thinking of the planets as like your brothers and sisters and your uncles and aunts and like your family. It is not scary. Okay. It's just energy to work with. It's kind of like, okay, well, Uncle Bob is here, like our Uncle Mercury is here. He's going to like do this thing. Like, let's just let him do his thing while we do this thing. Like, you learn how to work with the planets and what that means for you, right? And how it feels to you. So, also, there's a lot of people, for example, that are born with Mercury retrograde. So like Mercury retrograde does not even affect them. Like, once you get to like see your chart, right? It's just an energy. So don't make it mean like, holy shit, something's wrong. make the good things, amplify the good things, minimize the bad things, right? Like that's a solid rule. Okay. Not that it's even a bad thing, but just the things that like you don't know how to work with. So I also think that there's a lot of sensationalism in like the new earth world and the astrology world, because that's how people get attention. Like that's why I get mad about, I get so irritated about like people's intentions and how they do things, because it's like, they're talking about things that are helpful in new earth, but they're doing it with like marketing ways of like the old world. So it's like, oh my gosh, is this gonna tear us apart? Is this Mercury retrograde going to be the death of your, whatever. And people like freak out, and you respond out of freak out, and you like read the thing, right? Or like there's all of these like truthers out there that are like, oh my God, disasters. Like they're sitting there waiting for the next disasters and the next earthquake. And it's like, you know, shit, you're gonna fucking manifest that in your reality. You're waiting for the disaster to happen so you can report about it, so that you can make more sensational news. Like, let's not do that. Okay. Focus on the things that you want. Focus on the good. Amplify the good. Always amplify the goods. Okay. So yes, never considered my spouse's income. Big deal. That's a big deal, especially for women with men, or women with a partner that carries a lot of masculine energy. Like masculine energy doesn't have the same feeling that women have, that feminine energy has, about like, oh, guilt. So, but who am I to deserve this? Or like, how could it come to me? Or how could I do this? Like we have self-imposed limitations that have to do with like our own worthiness that we just kind of, have to work through in life. But men don't have that. If they want something, they want something. Have you ever seen, like this year, when I bought my Porsche, I had to like do a lot of like leveling up for myself, because I was like, do I really need a Porsche? Does anybody ever really need a Porsche? Like, do we need that? Like, is it okay? Like, should I be doing something different with my money? Like, I had to go through all these things. It doesn't matter at which level you work through this at, it will always feel that way. It doesn't matter. It was like that for me when I was making $2,000 a month. It was for me when I was making $10,000 a month. Like it's always been. It was that way for me at $50,000 a month. It's like that way, right? Because we always want to make sure that we're in alignment and like things come up to be cleared. And I was like, oh, and it was like a big deal. And then that's when it really hit me too, that I realized it, because for Henry and for men, it's like, buy a sports car, of course, buy toys, buy this, like da 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 da. And I was like, this is such different consciousness. Like the masculine energy is just so different. And so I choose to be empowered by it, but we're learning how to calibrate the masculine and the feminine in a different way, right? Because like feminine energy is not the same as masculine. And it's not like, we both have to learn traits of each other, right? And so there's a lot of things that, I don't like about the hardness and the have tos and the do of masculine. There's a lot of things that I love about like the receiving factor of the feminine energy, but feminine energy often also comes with like the guilt and the have tos and the worthy and that masculine energy doesn't, right? So I was like, okay, well, what if I can recalibrate that? And I literally had to step into it for myself, but I wasn't going to buy it and I wasn't going to do the thing until I felt so good about it, which is one of the keys. It's very important. You have to feel so good, and it has to feel in alignment. And for me, it had to make sense. And for me, it also had to be time, like it had to make sense for me to have that. So substitute whatever it is that is for you, that you want to manifest, right? It had to make sense for me to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel empowered, and to always feel that when I was driving that car, it was like next level expansion. Because anything that causes me to expand beyond the consciousness that I hold is worth it, because that's my job, is to constantly expand. That's what my soul came to do. I get to expand greater and bigger and greater and bigger all the time, so that I can actually make sense of all of these teachings and this knowledge and bring them in. If I don't expand, Like I can't bring the consciousness that I'm meant to bring and the information and the knowledge on the planet. So anything that can come into my life that allows me to expand, like this house or like the car, that is supportive of my business, which is supportive of New Earth, which then in turn supports me to do great things and give amazing things, right? And so it's like, it all makes sense. But if it was a car just to get a car, it doesn't make sense. If it's money just for money, it doesn't make sense. But every time now, and then I got it, every time I get into that car and I feel like it's my space, I feel like I'm driving a spaceship, right? I get a feeling, and it's the feeling. It is the feeling that the things give you that is worth it. And so things get us to a feelings. Can you get to the feelings anyways? Yes, but we're here having an earthly experience. So that's part of the fun that, you know, we get to deal with as, you know, souls incarnated in human bodies. So there you go. And I can tell you a whole lot more about these lessons of like of everything that I've learned buying a car that was a Porsche. But it was wild. And one of my favorite things too is that after I bought it, I felt so connected to this car. The car was made on the same month and year that I started Moon Babes. And the inside, like I was very particular about the inside of the car, and I knew it had to be light because I need light. I can't do like black interiors in a car. And so it has like light interiors. And the name, and I didn't know this until after I bought it. And the name of the interior is called Luxor Beige. It's practically Egypt. It feels like Egypt inside of a spaceship. And the outside is like metallic graphite or something that's totally cosmic. I was like, obviously this had to come to me. So it just feels like it's part of my energy, and I'm still like exploring it, but it has a feeling for me of expansion, and that allows me to tap into the things I need to. So that's the important part. Okay. Thank you. This info is gold. Yay. So glad to hear. Terry, I see that everywhere. When I started taking an Akashic course last year, I learned so much about the things to talk about now. Yes, because everything that is Akashic records is now integrated. Integrated. All the light workers are actually integrating the knowledge that is in our Akasha. Our Akasha is the record of consciousness and the record, like the history of our soul and our knowledge through all the things that we had to deposit before we came on the planet. So we deposited it at the Akashic records because we couldn't bring all this knowledge down because the framework of the earth, because the earth was in 3D, it couldn't hold it. Now that the earth's framework is in 12D, all the records can come in so we can know all the things. That's why that's happening. So very cool. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hi, lovelies. Okay. That makes me feel better. I'm so glad. I'm kind of scrolling through all the comments over here. Okay. What if you are doing these things and you still aren't manifesting? I've worked on releasing the blocks, and the love soulmate yet has to be manifested. Okay, so releasing the block is one thing, and embodying the frequency is different. So thank you for bringing that up. So do you feel that you are, for example, so when it comes to the soulmate, when it comes to the love, okay, look at, do you love yourself? Do you give yourself the level of love that you would want from a soulmate? Okay. Do you actually like love yourself in that way? Do you think that you're awesome? Do you look at your body in the mirror and be like, I love you, body? That's like a big one. Abraham Hicks all the way. Like Abraham Hicks talks about the body, but like, I like, for me, that's always been a thing. I've been like all sorts of weights in my life, like different weights, different sizes. And somehow that journey like taught me that I needed to like work inside of myself no matter what, right? Very important. Like, but when you look at yourself, do you love yourself? Do you judge? You do your routines? Do you love the way that you take care of the house? Are you in love with who you are, right? And the cool person that you are. When you get that way, when you're in love with yourself, can't help but manifest it. Okay. So if you've cleared the blocks, like if you've cleared the meaning, like, you know, the other stuff or the judgments or whatever, not, focus on embodying the thing that you want to manifest. So focus on embodying the love so that the love can magnetize to you. Okay. And also look at your belief systems, because sometimes it's like, you know, if you embody it, then you're there. But if that's harder for you to do, then look at the things that, like, think of it this way. Love wants to come to you. Money wants to come to you. What is in the way of it, right? So clear whatever resistance. What are you resisting? Do you feel like, you know, maybe you don't want to get hurt again? Do you feel like, maybe, like, is there somewhere in the back of your head, like a little baby voice that says, I don't think that man exists, right? Like, I don't feel like this can happen. I don't feel like this can actually manifest. Like, if you don't fully believe it, and if you're not energetically like there, then it can't actually manifest. So, is accepting money from a negative source limiting manifesting potential? Example, a job that drains your energy, a job that you don't feel like is a match for your alignment. So if it's a matter, this is a very good question. So if what you want to do is you want to make it so that it's like the money is blessed. You don't want to take in, you want to be clear about the way that you do the transaction. So if you work at a job where you like despise what you do, let's just say, which is awful, and like hopefully you'll be able to shift out of that. It's not awful. It's just sometimes it's necessary. It doesn't feel good. So it feels awful to your soul. And I know that feeling. Okay. Like, I know that feeling because I had to get out of it myself. Like, I was like, I can't do this anymore. My soul is going to die. So that was how it felt. So when you feel that way, what you want to start doing is saying, okay, I am showing up and I am doing this because this is the practical thing that I can do right now while I figure all this other stuff out. So the money is coming this way because this is what is available to me right now while I explore other avenues and other opportunities where the money can like come through. In the meantime, bless the money. Take it because you know it's going to lead you to the next opportunity, to the next thing, because it's, you know, allowing you to have resources to live the life that you want to live. So bless it, clear it, feel like you're taking it because it is supporting you. Don't like hate it as you put it in your account, right? Always in the positive. You want to do this money train to be a positive thing. So that makes sense. And in the meantime, begin to call in the shift, begin to call in manifesting money from, you know, a different way, a different source. Okay, Lopa, can you counter that with an example of embodiment for the money? Yes, embodiment for the money. Let's see if anybody else said anything else that needed to, and I did want to. Yes, this will be on you. This will be the bonus, my love. So this will be here on Instagram. And then it will be for everybody that's in the courses or you can get the course, the Money and Manifesting full course. It's $111. You can get it on the website, or you have it as a bonus in the mastermind, in the Goddess and Gods on Mission, and in the digital retreat from the Lionsgate Retreat. So, and we can always talk about money. I don't know. Sometimes like I can always make new rules about different things. I feel like this is like, we may just need to have like another talk about like New Earth money. But so go through it and take notes about it. It's going to be here for until the end of the month. I'm going to leave it up until the 31st. Okay. So, okay. Do I teach how to connect to the grid and do grid work? Yes, I teach a lot of that. This particular, like what we're talking about right now, it's about like love and money, but that's my main job. That's my full-time job. Me talking about money is like for fun. Like, this is fun for me. Like, I do this because I enjoy supporting you, right? So it's kind of funny. Okay. How can I feel and manifest being in the retreat in person? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do these two examples and let's do like manifesting the money. So, because it's kind of the same thing. So these two things go together. And I love, Gigi, I love that you're like focusing on this because that is amazing. Okay, so the way that money feels, like if you have an amount, right? So what it would feel like to manifest a chunk of money. So right now, I'm going to give you an example that is for me, because then I can tap into my own feelings and then you guys will feel the real of the feelings. That doesn't mean that your numbers have to match what I'm saying. Okay. So, But this is the thing, whenever you can tap into real feelings, like I'm not going to sit here and fake feelings because it doesn't serve anybody. Like faking things doesn't serve anybody. So I'm only here to be real with you guys, right? So this is the thing that scares me. And I feel like a lot of you will relate to this. So I really, 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 really look at how like you can feel my energy around this. I really, really want to stretch to embody the energy of $100,000 in a month. Right? This is like far out for me. It feels like it's so far out, but I want it. I want it. And I'm working on believe it that I can have it. Okay. And I'm working on it happening. And that's like, and it scares me. So it feels like this. And it feels like, oh my gosh, can I really do it? Can I actually not do it? And then all the voices, right? Because if I pick something like $20,000, let's just say $20,000 for me is like, well, yeah, like that has to happen because I've integrated that. Right. And so it feels like this. So Terry says, I felt it come into your field. I love that. Yeah. So if you can tap into the way that I feel right now, especially all you empaths, this is how you want to do this work. Okay. So you're like, holy fucking shit. There's actually a possibility. This is like the conversation I have with myself. There's actually a possibility that I could make $100,000. And then the voices go like, whatever. That's like so unreasonable. Like, what would you do with that? How is that even possible? How is that even a thing? And then I have to like work through it. And then it feels like, absolutely yes, like there is a way that is completely possible. It is completely possible because I am available for it, because I am in expansion for it, and I can see it coming. I feel like I could do so many good things with that. I feel like I can empower the people. I feel like I also have like attached to that for me, if once I hit that, not if, see how I corrected myself? Once I hit that, I have a goal of money to give out and to put out into the world, because I always do that. So for me, the more money that comes in, the more money that can go out in support of New Earth. So if I can take it from, like, this is how it works in my mind. If I can take it from old Earth and take it, go through me, and then put it in New Earth, God, I'm winning, right? Like this is good. And if I can go and support like New Earth businesses and support the people and, you know, do amazing things and build infrastructures. And if I had that, right? So, oh my God, like what would I do with $100,000? I feel like I could actually do like, what if I could do like a whole free month of like free content? It would give me like room to breathe. Like I could actually feel like I can do so much free stuff. Maybe I could travel. Maybe I could do things and I could empower more people. Like, oh my God, it's actually possible. I could do more things. I can expand. Holy shit, I feel it coming. This is actually possible. It's actually real. I have a good use for this money. This money would so empower me, and it would empower other people so much. It has to come. I feel like the universe supports me. I feel like the angels would support me. I feel like my grandma in the heavens would support me, right? Like I feel like the universe can back me up on this because there's so many amazing things that I want to do. And I feel like this money is so supportive for me, for my family, for my employees, for my tribe, right? Because to me, every time I have more money that comes in all the ways that it comes, I always give. Right. So however I give, and I do a lot of free things. And to me, it doesn't matter. Like I don't do the free things because I want the money. It's the opposite. It's like I call in the money and then I feel like I have so much energy that I want to give free stuff. And so it kind of works out. It all comes together. But that's the feeling. And so I'll sit there and I'll be like, holy fucking shit, this could actually happen. This is a good thing. Me making this much money and doing this thing, like $100,000 a month, is like a good thing for the planet. Like whoever thought that it would be a good thing, but this can be a good thing. There's so much good that I can do with this. There's so much more that I can give. There's so much more that I can expand. Like this is amazing. And it would stretch me well beyond my limits of what I believe is possible, which means miracles manifest. And if miracles manifest, then I can teach more miracles. And then I can expand on a whole other level. So it starts to feel this way. And I get so excited, right? And then the money, it's like energizing. And so I'm like, oh my God, I think I can actually do this. And it switches. And it switches and it becomes possible. And you feel it. And you feel it in your stomach. You feel it in your solar plexus. And then you feel it in your heart. It's like you feel this kundalini rising, right? And like everything just comes up and you're like, I can actually do this. I believe this. Once you hit that, work on that part until you feel like you believe it, which I'm still doing, right? Like I'm in this phase of 100,000. Once you hit it, right? Then you continuously call it. So then I can talk to you about this with like $50,000, right? So that feel the energy of $50,000. To me, it's like, of course, $50,000 is coming to you. There's no other way. Like, that's just so basic. And so like, I have to support all these things and all these people and create all this amazingness in the world. Like, that has to come. There's like, it's just obvious. It's like a given. It has to. This is the status quo. This is where we're at. It has to come. So it's like, that is like done, and it is done, right? Do you feel my energy around that? It is like done. And that happens. And that always happens because it's a constant, because this is the way I live, period. It is embodied. That's how it feels like when it's embodied. Okay. When you're working on receiving, it's like, oh my gosh, this could actually be real. Like, this is really possible. Do you see how like that's a huge jump, which is why I have to work on it, which is fine, because I will put the effort of working on it until I believe that shit. And you guys will see me, and one day it'll be like, she did it, right? Because I won't give up on it, because I feel like there's so much good that can happen if I can do that, right? Because I fully intend to create like major movements with, you know, Moonbibs and the Light Tribe, and like help a ton of people around the planet, which means I get to expand, I get to employ more people. And it's really funny because some people recently, like, because I'm like, what am I going to do, right? Like with $100,000, like you start feeling this way. And I was talking to some people that I know, and some people are friends, and I was like, I don't know, I just feel this urge to expand. I feel like there's probably more people that I need to hire. I don't even know what I would hire people for right now, but I feel like that's like coming. And then I've had people tell me like, I have been putting it out there actually for you to hire me. It's like, what? So it will always end up matching, right? The moment that you choose to level up and stretch, it happens. So, okay. Joan is saying, look at like the rational. If only one person joined the mastermind every day, you could hit 100,000. I love you, Joan. That's amazing. Right. And so it's like, yeah. So let's feel into that, like feel into the energy of it. Right. Like, holy shit, this is what I would do. So working on that, like having that revelation, right? It would be like, oh my God, like one person around the planet. This is how I feel when people join my courses. Holy shit. Like every day, one person is learning this amazing, expansive, like mind-blowing, like new earth creation, like everything blasting, next level healing, amazingness. Every single day, one more soul is discovering this. Every single day, one more person is joining like the forces of new earth and all of this knowledge. Holy shit, like this can totally happen. Every single day, one person is registering. Why would that not happen? Why would it not be possible? Look at how many people in the world are learning how to like shift into new earth consciousness. Out of all the people, this is also what happens in my mind. Out of all the people that can possibly follow a hashtag where I hashtag my content to, literally this happens, right? Like there are 30 people every month. Like, doesn't it seem so obvious that 30 people every month, you know, that one person every day would find the mastermind course and they would register for it? Isn't that so easy? Like, doesn't it seem so obvious that that would happen? Right? And that would find the right knowledge, would find the person that's looking for the right thing. This is why, this is the energy that I put behind my courses. So thank you for bringing that up, because that was also like awesome. But this is how I do it. I don't ever force it. I don't ever feel like, oh, look at all these people that have to buy my course. No, it's very, like my work is, I hope you guys feel that too. Like it's very sacred. Like I don't ever want anybody to like be in my courses unless it's actually like going to serve them and get them to where I want to take them to, where, you know, they can go, where I believe that I can get them to like transform and understand and like transmute and embody like all these new things. Therefore, there's no reason for me to worry about attracting the wrong people, because it will only serve the right people, the people that are ready for this knowledge. In fact, if you've like ever in my courses, Like, this is something that's really interesting. I heard it flying around, and I use Gabby Bernstein as an example because a lot of people know Gabby Bernstein, right? So she has like a refund period. And also because I had looked at like initially like how the affiliate world works in this thing. And I was like, whatever, I'm just doing my own thing. I don't do ads. I don't do endorsements. Like, I am just here clean for like the energy of New Earth. And this is my jam. And this is what I drive. But I had looked into that. And so one of the things that they do, there's a period of refunds. Well, to me, that's ridiculous. If you're calling forth the right people, there's no need, right, for the refund. So if your energy is clear on what you want, there's no need for that to happen, which also means like the only thing that's ever happened for me a few times, probably like a handful of times, is I've had people say, oh my God, I just registered for a course, but I realized that instead of this course, I wanted this course. And it's just like, I know that I need what you're offering. I just landed on the wrong course and I need to switch courses. And so that does happen. But it's because the frequency match exists. It's just coming through in like a different thing, right? So I hope that this is helpful for you guys, because one of the things that I can always do is like that I can do that is helpful is be in the truth of what I am going through, right? Even like though $100,000 manifestation for like some of you is like, what the fuck ever is she even working on, right? I'm working on this. And maybe it is totally like, you know, possible and doable and within your reach. Or maybe it's not, but either way, whatever it is, make that work for you. Okay. It's kind of like the way that another way that I could explain it is like, this is the way that people feel about weight. You know how like sometimes you see somebody that looks like they're totally in shape and you're just like, damn, you look good, sister, right? Or like whatever, like you feel like, and they have all of these like, oh my God, no, I got this like thing over here and like my jeans are, and you're like, you look amazing. You're like a size 4, like shot up, like you look awesome or whatever. But the person is actually feeling, and this is just, you know, like this superficial kind of conversation, but the person is like, oh, whatever, I just ate this and I feel so bloated and I can't get fit into my clothes and blah, 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 blah. And the person actually feels like shit, even though you think that they look amazing, because even though to you, a size 4 or size 2 or whatever it is, or like, you know, super toned body looks amazing and looks desirable and looks like something that looks good for you. Like for them, it doesn't feel right. And they're still going to continue climbing their thing, because it doesn't matter if their clothes don't fit. If they have clothes that are a size 2 and they're a size 4, it doesn't matter if they look good, if they feel shitty, and their clothes are going to feel shitty. Right. And so like people always have their own internal things, and it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside is not what it looks like on the inside. So this is why we don't judge other people's experiences, because we just never know. Okay. My battery is going to die, my loves. Oh my gosh. We have officially been on for like almost an hour and a half. I hope that I hope that this actually works on the live. Can you manifest weight loss? Yes. It works the same. Amanda, thank you for asking me. It works the same. So literally one of my intentions was to lose 10 pounds. And I just believed, I loved myself through it. So if for whatever reason this dies, it's just my computer and it's not plugged in, but it works the same. So it feels like if you love your body through whatever phase, then the weight will shed. And so it's all beliefs. It's all literally beliefs and worthiness. And after that, you get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, can I actually manifest skin that, you know, does this? Can I manifest my hair to grow? Can I manifest like this? Like you actually start to play with your creation energy. And also, I love you guys. Yes, I'm going to end saying this. Okay. Once you learn, like make money your basic, decide what it is that you want. If $10,000 a month, let's just say, okay, $20,000 a month makes you feel like you can go, and you can actually do life in a way that serves you, then get there, right? Because then you can work on all the other things. You can work on all the other things that makes life good for you. But if you're constantly worrying about money, then you don't get to enjoy life. So just build the belief systems, build the infrastructure and the belief system. Stop judging the things, stop attaching energy, stop doing the judgment thing. Just allow the money to come to you, call it to come to you, get in the alignment, get in like that higher purpose, higher frequency, and call it in. It has to come to you. That's just the way it works. It's law of attraction. It's the higher laws, right? So then the money is taken care of. We're here to do other stuff, right? Which is why I say like, this is, you know, or talking about like my full-time job is teaching you guys how to like connect to your galactic family, how to work on the grid, how to do the grid keeping, the portal working, like all of this other amazingness that is in the unseen realm. This is fun for me to talk to you about money because to me, it happens as like I called it in because I wanted to do this, because I was like, look, if I am going to teach about all these things, this has to come, right? So like, we're going to need this to work out, because if I don't worry about money, and if I know that money is always there to support me and to like allow me to expand, like money allows me to expand, money supports me. One of my affirmations is money supports me to grow into my dreams, right? Like, or my money supports everyone on the planet. As I bring in more abundance, I share this abundance with others all the time. So it's like, it feels really good and it feels really supportive. And because of it, I can show up in the way that I teach. But if I was constantly stressed about money, my energy would not be cleared to actually like bring in the teachings that I need to bring in, that I need to put into all these high vibrational courses. Do you see how that like doesn't serve? So it doesn't serve me to be stressed out about money, because my job is to bring all of this higher knowledge, which cannot be tainted by stress of any of these other things, right? So I had to like clear all of that first. Like for me, it's very important. I'm very much like a Virgo. I'm a double Virgo. So like, it has to be clean, right? It has to like, the frequency has to be clean. So that's how that works. And so make it like that for you. It's like, of course money has to come, because I'm not here. My purpose is not to make money. My purpose is to do all these other things. Therefore, money has to support me. Same thing with love. If you don't have a partner, right? Like, or if you want a partner, it's like, I want somebody to like jive with, to like do life with, because like, this is part of my experience so that I can do my job of like frequency holding or sharing this life or sharing this love and whatever it is. So make it be an integral part of the thing that you want. Okay. Allow it to support you. The things that you manifest, that you want to manifest, allow them to support you. Okay. All right. I love you guys. Oh, and I'm going to answer one more question about the retreat on here. I have to let you guys go on Zoom because it's going to die. So I'd rather end it so that we know that the recording will save. And I'm going to answer one more question on here and then we're going to go. I love you. Actually, maybe I'll just let it go. I'll just let it, like, let's see if it'll hold. Angels, universe, you're on the computer. Okay. So how would it manifest? Like, we had that question. See, like, I get lost in answering questions and I don't even think about these things. So how would you manifest being at the retreat? So you would have to figure out, right? Like a way. So you close your eyes and it's a feeling. So you go in your heart and it's this feeling where you're just like, oh my gosh, it is available for me to be at this retreat. And then your logical mind is going to want to know why, right? And so you're going to be like, why is this important to me? So list the reasons why. Like, this is important to me because I feel like finding out about my galactic lineage is really important. I really have been wanting to meet and understand the energy of the galactic family. I really want to understand how to reconcile my records. I want to understand like my purpose and my mission on the planet. It would serve me so deeply, like start to go into this, right? It would serve me so deeply and it would be so magical for me to understand what I'm meant to do on earth, because once I know that, I feel like I could actually like not obsess over it. And then I would have more time to spend with my family, to dedicate to this, to like do all these other things. And then I could actually like, you know, do this and this and this. So it would serve me and it would be beneficial. Therefore, I feel like I do deserve it. This is a big part for anything, right? I do deserve it. And I feel like, holy shit, like if I actually went there, I could actually do this and this and this. And it means that I would do something revolutionary for myself. And you know what? I am ready for something revolutionary to happen. I am ready for miracles to happen to me, because why the fuck would not miracles happen to me? I feel like I deserve some miracles. I feel like I have worked hard. I have put in all this time in life. I have done this. I have done that. Go through the things. I have suffered through this. I have cleared through this. Like, I am worthy of some manifesting miracles. Like, why not me? I have this desire. If my soul desires it, then I have to be worthy of it because it's a desire of my soul. And if my soul calls me to it, there's a reason. And if there's a reason, I have to believe that my soul can make a way. So can I believe that there's a way for me to go? Fuck yeah. Who am I to stand in the way of my soul? I believe that my soul will create a way. Do I believe that the universe can surprise me with a way? Absolutely. Do I feel worthy of going? Hell yes. Right. And so you start to really feel it. And then you're like, well, if I'm worthy of going, then a miracle has to happen. Do I believe in miracles? Yeah. You know what? Universe, surprise me. Let's do this thing because I am worthy of it. And I know that if I feel like I am a match for it and I'm meant to be there, my soul's calling me, then there has to be a way because the Red Seas, the seas have to part and the skies have to open. Like the way has to show because this is the work of my soul. And if, because I know that my soul is calling me and I know that I'm meant to be there, then the way has to show up. Show me the way. And then listen. So you would do that and then you would listen, right? And then something would come up and you'd feel an inspiration. This is how it works. Like you'd feel inspired to do something. And it's like, I should probably do this, or I should call this person. It doesn't have to make any sense. Make the call, do the thing. Whatever it is, if you feel inspired to do something, follow your inspiration. Because once you follow your inspiration, it's like the universe is like, okay, well, I need you to do all these things. Doesn't make any sense. And then this manifests. So it's just like, but you have to follow your inspiration. You have to follow your soul. Okay. So that's what that feels like. Amazing. Okay. I love you guys. This retreat for me is following my highest excitement. Yes. Oh my gosh. That was actually like one of the things on my list that we didn't even get to cover. Excitement energy. Laura, I love that so much. Like when you're excited about something, you hold power. So anything that is exciting, that lights you up, right? The stuff that sets your soul on fire, where you feel like, right? Where you're like on the edge and it's super exciting and you're learning and you're expanding and you're growing. That excitement is very powerful in attracting. It's very powerful in magnetizing you to the things that you want. And then once you're magnetized for that, miracles happen, right? We had, for example, Jenna, and I know that Jenna would tell the story all the time. She came to the retreat at the solstice and she was trying to sell her house before and it just wouldn't sell, right? So she comes to the retreat completely unrelated, but because she was here and she did all this work and she was so magnetized, she goes home the next day, her house sold. It doesn't make sense. She didn't work on that, but because her energy was like here, right? Then all the higher things that are in your highest alignment happen. So the path shifts and the avenues open and everything changes when you do this work because you calibrate yourself to work with highest frequencies. So that's how that works. Okay. You need to use that whole Parv as a sequel to the mermaid meditation. I love the energy. Yeah, you know what? That we should do that. I feel like that's like the next thing that I need to start doing is like just take out clips of these videos, right? It's like we'll be listening to my words, these words that come through to serve instead of like the Abrahamics. I love you. Thank you for pointing that out. We'll have to do that. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love on yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you are worthy. You're an infinite, eternal being of light, embodied into this beautiful, amazing, powerful technology that is the human body. You can do whatever it is that you want. Cultivate the desire. Grow it. Know that you're worthy. You can totally do it. Whatever it is that you want, what your soul actually truly desires, you can make happen. Because you're magnetic and you're super powerful. Okay. And I love you all. And I will see you soon on all of the social medias. Mwah. 2 hours together. 2 hours. I love you.